Philippines. Welcome back to my YT channel. This is again I'm a senior eternal voice. This is again Engineer Sotero, a Nepomuceno Junior and Safety Engineer. Okay, we'll go back to our discussion to solve problems regarding the second law of thermodynamics, which is one of the subjects of Bachelor of Science in Chemical Engineering. Okay, so if we talk about thermodynamics, it could not be denied we'll be able to incorporate chemistry, physics, and physical chemistry. So yesterday, I gave you an example regarding how to solve the standard free change energy, okay, the standard change of free energy that involves the change in the enthalpy formation of the reaction, okay, the change in enthalpy of the products minus the change of enthalpy of the reactants. So in that manner, we can identify if our chemical reaction will go fast or slow, how slow and how fast it is, because in that way, we can determine if it is spontaneous or non-spontaneous. So if we can determine the exact values of our change of free energy for that. Okay. Now, I have another problems here. I think it's gonna be 4 problems more for this, and then we go to another topic after this problem solving. It's gonna be like this. Okay, actually, if you are facing examinations regarding physical and chemical principles coverage, because this is under physical and chemical principles coverage that involves pure sciences. This is not yet chemical engineering, okay? But part of the concepts, principles, and foundation will be used in BS chemical engineering major subjects also. And I think also in BS chemistry, if I'm not mistaken, but BS chemistry are more studying in the details of chemistry. They don't have the details on the application of the technology and the application of higher mathematics in those pure sciences in the major, okay, subjects. Okay, this is very clear, and this is a basic foundation and we have to understand, okay, so that sa outward we can answer really the basic foundation of problem solving. Now guys, I advise you not to focus on complicated and complex major problem solvings in chemical engineering, okay, and in physical chemical principles. Just go to the easy, average, a little above average, a little bit difficult only. Okay, as I told you, the problem solvings that will be coming out in the PRC Engineering Board examination is not really that difficult as what you think. Okay, so just have a good and adequate memorization, okay, of all those basic science formulas. I advise talaga supposedly that you will memorize that during your elementary education. Okay, until your high school, until your college, because that will be your stock knowledge. So that you will never find difficulty when you reach your first year college in that university or institution. But then again, since we are very young at that time, we don't have that kind of mentality when we are going to school, right? So it's just about when we reach maturity, okay, when we reach adolescent period, and we have now our goals to achieve in our career, something like that, in our career path, and we have to improve, something like that. So it's just now we are thinking of that, but since before we are young, we are not thinking about that. But supposedly, it's really a stack knowledge if you talk about science. You start from the very basic in your elementary education, high school education, and of course, college education or tertiary education. Okay, to be honest and to be frank, I started memorization when I was in high school only, not in elementary. So when I was in college, I never found difficulty too much in the science formulas, though I have to accept that I found difficulties in the complicated and complex problem solvings in my course, because that's complicated already. But if you talk about basic foundation, I'll never found difficulty for that. Okay. Very clear, right? So that's why your grades will be dependent also to the nature and the type of problem solving that your instructors and professors will be given to you during examination in the preliminary examination, the midterms, and the final exams. Okay, it doesn't mean that you have a low or average grade for your subjects, you are not really good at that moment because because the problems given to you are difficult and complex, right? It's not all the time basic, easy, average. And we cannot blame also your instructors and professors in giving those complicated and complex problems. Also because they are teaching you to have your own initiative, try to push you to have your attitude of being resourceful, to go to the library so that you can have additional knowledge to connect with the present topics and subjects that they are discussing well, something like that. Okay, because we cannot deny the problems given also during the examination are not really that what they are discussing. There's still another quantities or topics that correlated and linked with that. Okay, so that's why we need to have the basic science technology, something like that. So we need to connect the dots, something like that. Okay, here also is connecting the dots because most of these are related to chemistry and a little bit of physics. Okay, because physics, as you can remember, is the study of matter and energy. Okay, then chemistry, focusing on matter, solid, liquid, and gases, and undergoes physical and chemical changes of various processes. Okay, in each system of the surrounding, something like that. So chemical reaction, always like that. Some the different, parameters operating conditions, sorry, that would be temperature, pressure, volume, density, like that. Okay, it's always be like that. And also the addition of catalysts and inhibitors. Okay, because some reactions will not have a fast reaction without the catalyst. Okay, and some also reactions have very fast, and you have to slow down. So by applying an inhibitor to slow down the chemical reaction or the rate of chemical reaction. Okay, going back to the problem solving, we have number one. Question number one. Ganon. Okay. Calculate the equilibrium constant for the following chemical reaction at 298 Kelvin with, oh my god, standard free change of energy which is equal to negative 33 kilojoules. The reaction is nitrogen gas plus, 3 moles of hydrogen gas is equal to 2 moles of ammonia gas. Look at the equation plus. Okay. Okay, I'll try to make it closer to you. This is just ball pen, this is not pentel pen. Because usually I discussed using the pentel pen and now ball pen only. Okay? Just be patient because my pentel pen are already consumed. Starting to be consumed. Some are consumed, some are started to be consumed. Okay, something like that. Okay? So, what you notice, class, is the symbol of reversibility. The two arrows pointing to the right side and also the arrow pointing to the left side. Something like that. So we can say automatically that this is a reversible chemical reaction. And we can also say that this is a spontaneous, like that reaction because it's reversible, something like that. But we can only prove that as we try to solve what is being asked and required in the problem. We have just only our initial guess, or shall we say, our educated guess, or what we call as hypothesis in scientific method and scientific research. If you can remember that one, if you want to become a scientist, then you need to know the scientific method of a scientific research. Okay, so what we're doing here is just solving many problems. We have already the scientific law. Okay, if we speak about scientific law, we have already the formulas, the equations, like that, blah, 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 so on, so because it has been proven to be valid, reliable, and accepted through various experimentations of our long-time scientists in the past. Okay, for example, Ernst Simon, Isaac Newton, something like that. Okay, Anton Lavoisier, Roentgen, Boltzmann, Ludwig Boltzmann, Sadi Carnot, Clausius Clapeyron, Michael Faraday, John Dalton, Ernest Rutherford, J.J. Thomson, something like that, James Chadwick, okay, and a lot of scientists that we have in the past that we have now the formulas to be used as our basic foundation. So these are having our scientific law. Okay, because sometimes in examination it always also come out so blank force is equals to ma. This is an example of what step in the scientific research. A problem, B gathering of data, C inference, D hypothesis, and D scientific law. Your answer will be scientific law because scientific law is always equations, formulas like this. Okay? Principles, concepts, and theories are scientific theory. Okay, after gathering the data in your scientific research. But you have to start with a problem. You have to identify your problem in your experimentation and your discovery. What are you really interested for? For example, I am Sotero. I want to discover another element in the universe. Then that is my problem. Okay, scientific problem in my scientific research. Okay, that's step number one. And step number two, I have to gather data for that so that I can develop that discovery to be reliable and to be true. So we have factual data. So how can I do that? So I will get sample and test that in the laboratory. Okay, with some analysis. Could it be I can have the quantitative experimentation or qualitative experimentation, or it depends on the situation, what you are really looking for. Okay, something like that, and you have to gather data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And after that, you can have your initial hypothesis or guess what's going to be happening through this, like that, and you will support that again with principles and theories. And after that, again, experimentation, blah blah blah, so and so, and then you can come up lastly with your conclusion and summary of your discovery. That is a scientific law. Okay, that is all about scientific research. If you want to become a scientist, then follow those scientific method and strategy. So these things are already under scientific research. Everything, even though mathematics, because mathematics are only a part of science. Okay, so science is the background of all existing in this world. Matter, energy, states, and functions. Okay, so tell you why you are talking about states. Okay, states because there are a lot of processes that does not involve directly natural processes. There are also artificial processes, right? So that's why I talk about states, S-T-A-T-E-S, meaning there's an initial state, there's a final state, because sometimes I think most of the times chemical reactions are not really that natural process. Okay, you have to undergo experimentation and laboratory test analysis so that those chemical reactions will have to speed up how fast or slow is that chemical reaction is all about. Something like that, okay? So going back to the problems. Now, question number one, okay, how can we attack this problem? Okay, the first thing to do is to check what is being required. But actually, it depends on you, but there's a step for this in solving problem. The first, you have to read twice. Okay, number two, you need to put and write the data. Okay, number three, you have to put what is being asked and required in your problem. Number four, you have to extract what is the best equation and formula for the applicability of the problem. Number five, you'll be able to have your, shall we say, quick analysis and understanding of what's gonna be the problem all about. So that is, I think, 5 steps only in solving problems. If you have that also, it could help a lot in solving problems. Though I'm not good in mathematical ability, but I know the procedure on how to solve problems, something like that. Okay? Just follow it, but intelligent people will not follow that. Okay, they will go directly to the, blah, 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 so on, so because they have a high IQ. But I am referring only to individuals that don't have a very high IQ, average only, or below average. Okay, just like me, average, so that we can, understand really what's gonna be the mechanics on how to solve problems, something like that. Okay, so in question number one, calculate the equilibrium constant for the following chemical reaction. Oh my God, there's a chemical reaction. So if chemical reaction, what comes in our minds? There's matter. Okay, solid, liquid, and gas. And what is matter? Matter is anything.
The Bluetooth device is ready to help.
Matter is anything that occupies space and has mass or weight. Okay, something like that. So in here, all our gases, we have nitrogen gas and hydrogen gas, one phase. So there's no problem about taking into account the gas phase changes, or phase changes, by the way, from solid to liquid, liquid to gas. So there's no problem about that already because we have our reactors are all gases. Okay, now the first thing to do in this kind of problem is that we need to balance the chemical equation first. Okay, so if you will not solve, then the stoichiometric relationship in your calculation will be automatically wrong, especially in this topic about change and free energy of formation. We need to consider the number of moles in each reactant and each product to determine how spontaneous the chemical reaction is, or something like that. So we need to write that sheet of paper. Sorry, wait for a while. Gosh. Okay, class. Char, class talaga. Okay. Okay, now, as I told you a while ago, we have so many formulas of change in free energy. By the way, class, we should not be confused by the terminologies, okay? Because sometimes other reference textbooks, websites, or other reference materials could state only as change in free energy, but actually that is also gives free energy, the capital delta G. Okay, don't be confused, okay? Because sometimes the problem will state like this. What is the change in free energy? And don't state the word gives. Okay, then if there's no gives, and you will not apply already the formula because there's no gives, and you will use the other energy, which is the internal energy. So it becomes wrong. So sometimes English will help a lot, okay, in interpreting the problem solving. Okay, you have to be clever in determining the terminologies of the problems also. Okay, and you don't have to be literal and word for word. You have to analyze really and extract what is really this all about, something like that. Okay, and then you have a wild imagination. Engineers have wild imagination. Okay, something like that. That's one characteristic of being an engineer. You should have at least a wild imagination, but because sometimes other problems cannot be solved by simply discussion inside the room. There are other things to be discovered by your own. Okay, to be honest, okay, we have a lot of formulas and we have to correlate that one and we can come up with another formula. Okay, by just derivation, by connecting the dots for those scientific subjects or topics, blah, 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 so on. So, okay, going back. So I discussed yesterday. Oh, Sotero, please slow down. Okay, sorry class, I'm very fast talking. I have to slow down because if I talk very slow, then the content that retain in my brain cells will be lost. Not really not lost, will be slowly eradicating. Okay, eradicating meaning vanishing, something, or disappearing, or eliminating, or reducing. Those are synonyms in English. Okay, you have to understand also terminologies. Take note, antonyms, synonyms, homonyms, like that. Okay, that's why we need grammar in English language. Okay, number one, calculate the equilibrium constant for the following chemical reaction. Okay, I have to write the chemical reaction once again. Okay, that's nitrogen gas. Take note, class. That's very interesting. Wait. Okay, I love this. Okay. So one thing comes on your mind, ammonia. Ammonia is one of the components of our urine. Okay, so that's one thing to consider too. Okay, urine. And also, ammonia is a raw material of the production of fertilizers. Something like that. Okay, so what contribution, what science, who is the scientist that have a contribution regarding the production of fertilizers? Okay, the production of ammonia, it is Mr. Haber, something like that. Okay, if you can recall in your chemistry. Okay, something like this, 3H2 gas. Okay, like that. Day by day when you read, if you are engineering students right now, especially if you're best chemical engineering students or basic chemistry students or whatever, you should develop your time in reading, reading, because there are also science trivial questions that will come out in the board examination. Okay, new trends in science that will come out, or new discoveries that will come out. For example, another term of lithium. So lithium found mostly in what material? A. O ganon. Diode, B, blah, blah, blah. C, battery. Your answer will be battery because most of the times now in modern times, lithium is the best component for battery. Okay, lithium, Li. Okay, so this is gonna be like that. Science trivial questions also matters a lot. Okay, but our because that's too basic to consider. Just read the books in the introduction or go to the websites and learn a lot about science. Science is very broad, right? I mean, you have to read a billion of times. Some billions talaga. Yes, really. Okay, something like that. So, reversible reaction. Oh my gosh. Like this. Okay, 2 moles of ammonia. Okay, like this. Gas pa rin siya. Okay. As you can notice also, guys, that if you add all gases, the product will be gases also. Okay, there's a technique for so also to that. Okay, and if you add liquid also, the product will be also liquid. But there are also other instances that other phases will appear. It depends on the situation. If it is really a coagulation, right? You know, coagulation process or undergoes a Tyndall effect in science, right? That's so it's gonna be another story to talk about. Okay, but most of the times, if you add liquids, the product will be liquids. If you add gases, the products will be gases, except to what kind of chemical reaction. Okay, actually, guys, I posted it in my Facebook account. This type of question is very basic question because if you add these two elements or gases, then the product will be liquid. Okay, so this is created by God. This is water. Okay, technically in science it will deviate with the principles and theories, but it is not true in the theory. Okay, but in the other way around, since God has the power and magic, it come true. Okay, hydrogen gas is a gas. Okay, oxygen is a gas. Then why liquid will be produced? That's how powerful God really is. Okay, as I told you earlier in science theory, if you add gas and another gas, the product will be gas. If you add liquid plus another liquid, the product will be liquid. But why in this water chemical reaction? You add gas to another gas and why it produces water? Can you explain? Okay, this is because God is more powerful than all scientists. And this is a really natural process, chemical reaction. This is reversible chemical reactions in the nature. We don't have to add catalyst to produce water. Okay, we don't have to change the temperature to produce water. We don't have to change the pressure. We don't have to change the density. We don't have to change the volume, the pressure, or anything, or any parameters, or any physical properties or chemical properties that would have a chemical reaction as our center of focus. Okay, so this is really, and nobody got the correct answer for that when I posted that in the Facebook, because that was really difficult also, but it's very easy to understand. Okay, so H2 gas plus oxygen gas is equals to H2O liquid. Imagine the product is liquid from adding gases. Okay, so take another chemical reaction and give it to me right now. Okay, if you can have. Okay, gather all the chemical reactions in the universe all over the world and give it to me. If you can give this type of chemical reactions, if you add gas to gas and will produce liquid, then I will salute you 100%. Maybe have, but there's at least a little bit of solid in the reactant, a little bit liquid, but I am talking to you purely. Gas plus gas is equals to liquid. Think. Okay? It's impossible, looks like impossible, right? Because it's gas and why it produces liquid. Okay, so that's water, and I love water is the basis of all chemical calculations. Okay, or chemical reaction. Going back to the problem number one. Okay, we have that gives free energy, delta G. Ato nang dissolve, ato na yung dissolve. So delta G, okay, is equals to the standard. Okay, change in free energy. Basta naaga ni circle at the top of the capital G, that is standard already, ha? The terminology is standard. STAAD. But in here only, ha? Because in degree Celsius also in Fahrenheit, it's only degree, not standard. It depends on the context. on the present discussion. But here, the second law of thermodynamics, especially dealing with entropy, enthalpy, and the gas-free energy, if you put small circle at the top of capital letter, that would mean standard. Okay? Then, if there is no standard being asked in the problem, then don't force to use this because it will become wrong. Because there's already a natural free energy only, which is the delta G, enthalpy only, which is not the standard enthalpy of formation. Take note for that. So if no symbol like that, then don't use to force this kind of formula, something like that, okay? So plus universal gas constant times the temperature capital T ln, oh my gosh, Q. This one, oh my gosh. So delta G is equals to delta G, how can I call this one? Standard na lang din siya, no? Okay, standard free change of energy plus universal constant R times T times ln times Q. Now plus, this is reversible chemical reaction. So, if we speak about reversible chemical reaction, please put that in your brain cells that the free energy or the delta G is equal to zero. Okay? And then your entropy also will most likely to become zero. Because due to the fact that as long as your entropy decreases and it will reach zero, okay, like that, then the reversibility of the chemical reaction will also increases. So reversibility meaning reversible. So the more it will become a reversible chemical reaction. So in this manner, I could say or we can say that the delta change in free energy is directly proportional to the delta change in the entropy or the randomness or the disorderedness of the system in the process. Something like that. Okay? Because of the fact. And I don't have to prove that. Because I don't have the laboratory inside my room just to get an analysis or sample just to prove how it governs to different substances inside the laboratory. Okay, there's so many chemicals in the laboratory that I have to show that to you. Okay, if there's a laboratory. But this is only theory, discussion, principles, and problem solving. Okay, so that we can really see what's going on. If we have the analysis inside the laboratory, right? And we have to prove how valid what I am talking to you right now. Okay, so there's a direct relationship between the two, between the delta change in free energy and the delta change in the entropy. Oh no, okay, delta G is equal to zero. Okay, it's gonna be like this class. Oh my gosh, my laptop was shut off. I think I need more energy. I have to drink coffee so that it will stimulate my brain cells. Okay, and I could be active because drinking coffee will make you energetic. That's why it is a stimulant, used as a stimulant in every narcotics and medicines all over the world. Okay, caffeine. That's the component of caffeine. That's why we need to put that in most foods and beverages all over the world. Okay, going back to my laptop. Oh, it's been shut down already. You want the formula of caffeine? Then I have to show you also. Okay. Like that. Basic formulation you have to know, huh? Especially medicines also. I'm not a medicine student. I am
The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
I'm not a medicine student, I'm a chemical engineer, but I can show you the formulation, chemical reactions for that. Okay, but I'm not focusing on the treating of diseases. Okay, I am on more on the chemical reactions. Okay, but since I know the behavior of some chemicals, how it could really affect the sickness and diseases, that's I am too. Okay, I'm not really on the epidemiology. I mean, it's this control and studying of diseases, how to treat it, how to prevent it, because I'm not really in what they call this one? Health profession. Okay, I am in a science profession. Okay. My gosh. My gosh. Oh my gosh, to tell you honestly, occupational safety and health is under science, ha? Okay, it's one of the components of pure science. Okay, it's related really. Okay, because most of the chemical engineers now all over the world are working also in OSH. Could it be in the process safety? Okay, most likely chemical engineers are working in process safety and also in occupational safety and health because those are related to chemical engineering also, especially dealing with chemicals, the hazardous releases of substances, could it be liquids and gases, then we should know that. Maybe your plant will explode. Okay, and we know the equilibrium process of those products, okay, going into your pipelines. If not, your pipelines will be bursting out and it will explode, especially if there are hazardous and flammable chemicals that will pass along your process ABC. And these chemical engineers are expert to that. Okay, not all, but most of the times, because we study that a lot in our 5 years of engineering course. Okay, process. I'm not talking about the equipment process. We, because we know only a little, not little, average about equipment and machine. Okay. Oh my gosh, how can I do this? Later, okay? Copy kayo. I have a weak signal talaga siya in my Wi-Fi. Okay? So let's force it. Charot. Okay. Going back to business. So we have the change in free energy is equal to zero, and we have to substitute zero in the original equation. Okay, so this is, oh my gosh. Hoy, shout out pala sa mga chemical engineering students that will be able to take the board examination this coming October 2021, Philippines. Okay, if you want to really to listen to my discussion, that it could help a little bit. Okay, like that. And I can give you also some little tips on how to pass the board examination, something like that. Okay, and delta G is equals to zero. Okay, and then you have to substitute. So zero equals to, you have to be patient ha, you don't have to be quick. You have to be patient talaga, okay, in solving problems. That's one requirement, how to solve a problem. You have to be patient really, and you have to take your time and make your solution very clean. Okay, so if it is dirty, then problem. It will confuse you a lot. Okay, tell you honestly. Okay, so change in free energy standard is equals to RT. Algebra sa di siya, guys. RT is equals to L and Q. Okay, so you need to solve for the value of the delta change standard of free energy, then you have to transpose that on the left side. Okay, so I can say that the delta change in free energy standard, okay, will be equal to the negative universal gas constant. Oh my gosh, universal talaga. Capital R times T natural logarithm. Wow. Ln times Q. Okay, so natural logarithm, okay, so we should use the scientific calculator I have in my hand now. Okay, I bought this one because I need to solve some problems really in science. Okay, like that. Okay, so in here we will investigate one by one. It's gonna be like that. Okay, it's not enough to write or to memorize. Investigate each quantity of that formula. Okay, students. Okay, okay. Delta G. Oh my gosh. Delta G is found in second law of thermodynamics. What is delta G? Delta G, or change of free energy, it is a system that could be able to identify how spontaneous and non-spontaneous a chemical reaction is. You have now a definition. And then R. What is R? Universal gas constant. Universal gas constant, of course, it is a constant that will be used in an ideal gas law equations, especially gases only. Okay? But take note, most of the times, it cannot be used in real gases or non-ideal gases. Okay? You should use the van der Waals equation. By the way, class, okay, if you are now reviewing now your engineering examination, especially chemical engineering, be careful ha, because in our study in chemical engineering, we focus on ideal gas rabayag yun. Okay, so study also real gases and non-ideal gases, the opposite of ideal gas. Me before, when I was a student, I also studied this, even though our focus and center is always an ideal gas. Because there's also a formula there of van der Waals equation for real gases, okay? Non-ideal gases. The opposite of ideal gas is non-ideal gases, okay? Like that. So by the way, ideal gas is what also known as a perfect gas. Ideal. Okay? And then non-ideal gas is a non-perfect gas or non-ideal gas, of course, right? Okay, so you have to be careful also because you are dealing most of the times with ideal gas law. Take note. Okay, so you will study also a little bit with non-ideal gas. Example to that basic foundation is the van der Waals equation. There's a correlation of mole fraction also there. Pressures also based on my technology now on the spot. Okay, you have to determine that one also, huh? Okay. But in our review class, we also take that. But in our classes in the, I don't think so. Maybe I'm just sleeping. When the instructor and professor is discussing about that, maybe I think so. But I think most of the times we are really talking about the gases, the ideal gas only lang yun siya. Okay, but there's more to that. The non-ideal gas also. Okay, so if you'll come out to the board examination, then you will get lost. Okay, because that is not already ideal gas. You cannot apply the Gay-Lussac's law. You cannot apply the Charles law. You cannot apply the Dalton's law of partial gases. Okay, you remember that one? You cannot apply also the Pascal's law of pressures. You cannot apply also the ideal gas law PV and RT. You cannot apply the Clausius-Clapeyron also equation. Okay, like that. You cannot apply the Bernoulli theorem. I think so. Bernoulli. Okay, in momentum transfer. Or anyhow, in momentum transfer, that's not usually deals with gases naman talaga, di ba? Always liquid naman talaga siya. But who knows pala, it will be interconnected with each other somewhere in the changing of phase. Okay, during evaporation and vaporization, especially if it starts our substance as a water. Water is a pure substance, then of course normally if you will hit that one to a certain temperature, then it will change the phase, and that is the time it will become a gas. Then you can apply there whether it is ideal gas or non-ideal gas, whether it is at first a fluid or a liquid. Okay? Something like that. Okay, now Q. Oh my gosh, I love Q. This is very, very popular all over the world because this has been used in chemistry, physics, and thermodynamics. Okay, Q is a heat content. We have a negative heat and a positive heat, and heat is being transferred from one point to another, and also heat is being transferred from higher temperature to lower temperature, and transferred also from colder environment to the hotter environment to colder environment, something like that. Okay, so Q. So Sotero Q still used there, and then your problem has no heat. Okay, so again, we need to investigate. So in a reversible chemical reaction, especially dealing with this kind of problem, okay, we can to read based on the second law of thermodynamics by Mr. I think so, a combination of Mr. Ludwig Boltzmann and Mr. Gibbs. These are scientists discover these formulas, right? So they have a relationship with each other that they can add something like that to equate Q is equals to equilibrium constant automatically without question based on their study. So Q is equals to K na siya talaga. I don't have to derive and to dig it up because it takes me a long time, okay, to derive again. Okay, but it will be just like this based on the theory, ha. That's why I tell you memorization, okay, and at the same time analysis. So Q is equals to K, right? Oh my gosh. So if heat is equals to the equilibrium constant, then we can say that the standard change of free energy is equals to R times T times L and times K na siya. Okay, so delta G Okay, ganon. Chupa chuchu. And then R, T, L, N, P. Oh my gosh, so there, this is a very good formula. I love it. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. And K is the equilibrium constant, guys, which is our problem here is being asked. So bingo, we can solve the problem. Okay, now, so let's do algebra. Okay, we need to get the formula of K by this original equation. So K, okay, like that. Okay, so let's divide it by RTLN, ganun, chupa chuchu. Okay, but you can also substitute values directly if you wanted to, because you have also values here. It depends on you talaga siya ha, because you as a student have your own strategy. Okay, the important thing is you analyze it very well and your analyzation will be valid, true, and correct. And then you try to be patient in substituting and your units will agree. That is the most important thing because they have a lot of strategies how to do it. Some students also have shortcut method how to do it, but I don't love shortcut method because it confuses me sometimes. Okay, like that. I love to be detailed and systematized. Okay, in solving the problem. Okay, because as I told you before, I am not good in mathematical ability. Okay, so the value of change in standard free energy is negative 33 kilojoules to diretso. Substitute. Okay, negative third. Anyway, we have the calculator, right? Okay, negative 33 kilojoules is equal to the negative R. Halaka. Okay, R. Unsa may R nimo sa ammonia? Oh, magunahon na dayon ka. Unsa may akong R sa ammonia? Okay, so very difficult to consider, right? Just leave it muna. Then T, the temperature is 298 Kelvin. Okay, 298 Kelvin. Okay, like this. And then the Ln is like this. Okay. And K, like that. Okay. So the universal gas constant of ammonia is not given here. So you have to go to the table and the index of ammonia chemical reaction. Oh, sorry guys, I forgot to bring my chemical engineer's handbook. I have to go to the website talaga siya. Okay, so I need to determine of ammonia chemical reaction with respect to 25 degrees Celsius at 298 Kelvin. This is the time you need to use the table or a chart because it doesn't mention here the R. This is not water anymore. As I told you, it will become complicated a little bit if that is not a water because water is very easy to identify. Something like that, right? Okay, so let's try to have another analysis na lang talaga siya, no? Since okay, on the spot kasi okay? This is the power of on the spot discussion and solving problem. Okay, then wait, give me enough time, a little bit of seconds to analyze ha. Okay, wait. Okay, so since there's no R, let's find another R that we don't need to find that in the handbook. Okay. Usually, the water have the values of R because that is standard pure substances. Now, reversible chemical reaction. If we say reversible chemical reaction class, and gases pa gyud siya, and then it must apply in ideal gas, right? Ideal gas law. Because ideal gas law are mostly reversible na gud siya. Kaya nga ideal siya, a perfect gas. Something like siya. Okay, since that ideal gases are mostly using the values of our standard that we learned already in our physical chemistry unit operations, I think we're gonna also use these types of R. Correct me if I'm wrong. Because if we analyze this is having a reversible chemical reaction behavior magud siya. So most of the gases that undergo reversible chemical reaction in the ideal gas, they will use magud R, which is the standards. So can we use that also here? I'm trying to question the audience. Okay. By the way, you can issue an error statement to me, ha? Okay, because really, honestly, I don't know what is the universal gas constant of the ammonia chemical reaction. Okay, then me right now will be found difficulty if I will refer to the book. I don't have books here. I don't bring my books here because I don't have to do that because I'm not studying. I'm working, right? Okay, so what's the reason of bringing the books here and the handbook here? Okay, I'm relying on it to reading, okay, like that, and basing on my stack knowledge, like that. Okay, but I don't bring those books here, okay? So, okay, let's use na lang the R for the ideal gases, ha? Because it behave man in reversible chemical reaction. And most ideal gases man siya, reversible with siya. Okay? Ganon. So R will be, we will take the two values lang muna ha, because there's a lot of values of R. Okay? Before, when I was in college, I memorized, I think, 5 up values of universal gas constant. But now, I cannot do that anymore. I have only 2 retained in my brain cells. So I have 0.08205 liter atmosphere over mole Kelvin, and I have also 8.3146 joules per mole Kelvin. 2 values only. Anyhow, class, you can get the values of R by solving that in the ideal gas law equation. Okay, but by having a standard temperature and pressure only. You substitute the 0 degrees Celsius, you substitute the 1 atmosphere, in there, bingo, you can solve and you assume that it's behaving an ideal, so you consider 1 mole of a gas. Right? If it's an ideal, no need to mention the gas mass. Okay? And you will also state there that it will occupy at STP. Okay, standard temperature and pressure. What is the standard temperature? 0 degrees Celsius. What is the standard pressure? 1 atmosphere. Then put that there in the equation. And then, since you know that an ideal gas, 1 mole of an ideal gas will occupy 24.414 liters, then bingo, you can have another R there, even though you will not memorize. But again, it will take a long time ang good siya. Okay? Just memorize at least 2, just like this, ha? 2 values of R. Okay? But if you wanted to really, then go. Okay? It's more happy to have more values of R in your brain cells. Okay, like that. Okay, I will use R. Mo agree siya, so I could use joules, right? Liter atmosphere will never agree with my unit here. So I have to use 8.146 joules per mole Kelvin. Okay, substitute. Oh, ganon. Since I have kilojoules here in the left side, then I have to convert first this kilojoules para di siya musamok in the in the right side. So kilo man siya, 2 times 10 lang siya. So negative 33,000 joules, okay, is equal to the universal gas constant, which is equal to 8.3146 joules more mole Kelvin, okay, times 298 Kelvin, and the Kelvin will be cancelled out. Oh my gosh, like that, and times the lnk. Now, class, there's still a mole retained in the universal gas constant. And then, your unit raba talaga, guys, in free energy, okay, doesn't have mole in the denominator. So just like this, that is also a trick to the students, because sometimes you have to think that the delta G is not joules over mole. Okay? That is only joules. Okay, then you have the chemical reaction, guys. What you will be able to do. So you have to substitute the number of moles there, huh? Like that. Okay, so bingo na yun. Makuha na yun siya. Okay, so exponential, we treat this as exponential. Okay, naman ko tayo ln. So we algebra ni siya or trigonometry, I forgot. If you put an exponential on the other side, and you have also to put an exponential on the other side, so it will become e raised to the power of natural logarithm times the equilibrium constant times the values. Something like that, okay? So it's gonna be e, gonna, a negative 33, oh my gosh, oh my gosh! Exponential negative 33,000, oh my gosh, amazing, okay? Like that. So exponential also, exponential ln logarithm of k, natural ha, kay di man log, so ln man siya natural. Okay? So, 8.3146 times 298. Diyos ko. Okay? 298. In this case, class also, if the choices really in the problem solving has mole on the denominator, even though asking for delta G, that would be okay also. Okay, but if the choices also don't have the mole on the choices, then you have to convert that into joules because in standard, in the natural state, the unit of delta G is joules naman good siya. Okay, but it depends on the situation. What if there's a mole also in the denominator? Okay, like that. So meaning to say, that is the delta G with respect to the molecular interaction. Okay, that's why they don't conciliate the moles in the problem. Something like that only, okay? Assumption, okay? Because usually the unit is only joules magud siya. So that is the energy required in every mole of that substance in that chemical reaction. So it's gonna be also valid, right? In the statement. Ganun siya. It depends on the situation ha. Because sometimes naman we ganun yung yun. Okay? But to make it clear, just multiply with the number of moles to make it sure, right? Okay. So, gonna be like this. I-balance good siya ha, ang number of moles first. Okay? Oh my gosh. So, ELN guys, ELN, LN, ganun-ganun siya, chuba-chuchu. Okay? So, we can cancel automatically the E here. So, equal na siya. So, ang LN na lang imuhanin niya is ang ito. Okay, ganun-ganun. Chupa-chuchu. Okay, equal na siya. ELN, ELN, so 1 na siya. Okay, in algebra. Okay? Like that. So, hindi ka solve mo ani, charot. Hindi mo siyang i-kuan, i-logarithm. Logarithm? Natural logarithm. Okay? So, 8 point, maglabot yung kuan eh. Okay. Ano mo ganahan ba? 3146 times 298, okay, is equals to, and then imo na siyang i-logarithm, di ba? Exponential, ganun, equals, okay, exponential logarithm, ganun. So, 8, oh my gosh, 3146 times 298 is equals to, okay, and then 2477 or 2478 na lang siya. Okay, 2478, sorry guys, negative pala no. Okay, no problem. Ay, by the way, cancels ang negative because both sides have negative manggod siya. Okay? Algebra gihapon. Cancel negative. Oh, muntik na. Diba? Ganon siya. So, ELN and ELN ganon siya. Chuba-chuchu. So, that means 1 lang yun siya. Okay? Ganon. So, ato sa ni times. Okay. 8.3146 times 298. Ano na siya? 2478. Okay? Ganon. 2478. Oh my gosh. And then, we have 33,000, right? Okay. Oh, Diyos ko. Nangyari. 33,000. Okay? I-divide na siya, then mo LN ka, pwede na gapon siguro, no? But let's try to take it individually na lang para way lubo. Okay. 33,000 divided by 2478 is equals to, oh my gosh, 13.31. Hala. 13. First assumption niya, 13.32. Ako lang siyang i-whole sum. Then, individually na. Okay. So, ganon. So, EE, cancel the exponential both, and then LE na lang siya, diba? Okay, go. Charot. Kakaloka. Ganon. Okay. LN ha, natural logarithm. Okay. Natural logarithm of ganon equals, okay, natural logarithm of 33,000 taas. Okay, and then 8.3 146 times 298. Okay, ganun siya. So, natural logarithm. Okay. 2478 equals to, okay, 2478 natural logarithm equals to uh, natural logarithm of 2478. Okay, and then exponential, okay, like that, 2478. Okay, the answer will be k is equals to 13.31. Okay, muna siya ang k, equilibrium constant. Okay, like that. K is 13.31. What does it mean, guys? If 13.31, positive value of G. Positive value of G is non-spontaneous. Charot. Sure. Okay. Let's investigate. Negative. Oh, negative cancels out man siya. Okay. So 13.31. If the K is 13.31, that is above 0, right? So if it is above 0, we have a large K. So if we have a large K, so this reaction favored to the products. Okay, so delta G is greater than 0, so that is passive, this is non-spontaneous. Really? Okay. Okay, really. That is question number 1. Okay? I have the value of K, which is 13.31, that is higher than 1, right? So we can say K is greater than 0. Mag-start man good siya sa 1. Okay? 1 pataas, infinity. So that is K is equals to 13.31. So we can say K is greater than 0. Okay? Like that, the arrow will be like this. You know, in mathematics, arrow, symbol pala, symbol like this, will go, gikaon ang 13.31, something like that, okay? So we need also to know the symbol, where it will be facing, like that. Okay, then the delta G will be equal to, greater man gud siya, okay, so, 0, ganun siya. Okay, so gikaon niya ang kuan, delta G, paana, okay? Symbol, algebra. Okay? So, non-spontaneous. So, the chemical reaction here will favor to the products. Let's investigate if it will really favor to the products. Okay. So, 1 mole of nitrogen plus 3 moles of H2 and then 2 moles of NH3 like this. Okay? Like this. Okay, ammonia, 2 moles of ammonia. Based on the problem solving here. Okay? Then, if the question really, guys, the answer is really there in the choices, then don't stop thinking na talaga siya. Because they already get the answer naman good. So, proceed to another question. You don't have to analyze very well. Oh, it's gonna like this, like this, like this. Okay, because this point in time, we are just discussing. Okay, that's why we need to think, why is this gonna be like this? What's the reason behind? Like this, like this. But during the examination, if the answer is really now in the choices, then go for it, something like that. Okay? You need to think na. Go to another questions. Okay? Something like that. Right? Okay. Number 2, calculate the equilibrium constant for the following chemical reaction at 464 Kelvin, where delta G is equals to 0. Oh my gosh, delta G is equals to 0. Okay, this is gonna be a reversible chemical reaction. Okay, so how can I do this? Okay, substitute again. Nahulat akong papel. Oh my gosh. Okay, so after this problem number 2, guys, I will stop and then I will take a break. I will take a pause and drink my coffee, and then I will be able to back to problem number 3. Okay, like that. Guys, take note, this is only one straightforward chemical reaction. But there are also chemical reactions that have second stages, 3 stages, like that. Complex na gid talaga siya. All you have to do is to, to add it, what's being cancelled, like that. And if you can remember also the redox chemical reaction, how to do that, then apply it. Okay, redox by taking the charges, the oxidation numbers. So that's also the one way how to balance clearly the chemical reaction. In here, no problem because it's only one straightforward chemical reaction. But sometimes also have two, three like that, and then you have to add that one that will become cancelled like that. And then each chemical reaction has the value of delta G. And then if you try to reverse that one, you need also to reverse the sign of the value of enthalpy. Ganun siya. Basta lagi makalibog yun siya. Okay? But be patient na lang yun. Okay? Ganon. Okay? To be honest. Okay? It's very difficult. Not really very difficult. Sometimes you'll be confused. Okay? Okay? If you will not be confused, okay, all will become top notcher during the board examination. Okay? So that means a lot will be confused. Because only top 10 only are the top notchers, right? And how about the others? They are passing, of course, but other problems they are not able to solve that perfectly. So meaning to say they are confused with other problems also. If not, then all of them got perfect. Okay, that's my logic behind of that. Okay, so meaning to say majority will be confused also. Okay, sometimes. Okay, not sometimes. It's really true. Okay, in problem solving, a lot of times we will be confused. Okay, especially dealing with this kind of formulas or chemical equations that could determine. The most difficult part ng good class is the direction and the sign, plus and minus, direction like that. Because it's not only plain solving, just like other subjects. Plain solving only engineering mechanics, strength of materials. Plain solving without considering the if it is negative, it is positive, it is ganon, blah blah blah. So that would be a little bit, shall I say, average or easy. But if there's orientation, if we try to reverse this, it's gonna be difficult and you have to analyze, right? And it's not also easy to analyze the behavior of molecules and the atoms. We never see that in our naked eye. So, okay, that make chemical engineers very tasky on wild imagination. Because we can never see molecules in our eyes. I can never see the molecules of ammonia now in front of me. Okay, and I cannot see also the molecules of nitrogen in front of me. So I cannot see clearly, justify it logically with my visual senses. Okay, unlike other courses, they can justify because they can see the diodes, they can see the transformers, they can see the wires, they can see the equipment. So that's the only difference of chemical engineering from the rest of other engineering courses because we can never see what we are studying. The molecules, the atoms, like oh my gosh, why like this? Okay, the protons, the electrons, blah blah blah, and a lot of collision bombarding of the molecules in the universe. Okay, I cannot see that. I cannot see in the celestial bodies the greater entropy there. Okay, but it's also part of our studies that we need to study also the entropy in the universe. Oh my gosh. I cannot see, okay, but we have the theory only. So it's very difficult, right? You have only the theory and you did not see in actual what's going on, okay? If I have the airplane or I have the spaceship, I go to the outer space and I will really see how random and how disordered the universe really is so that I can prove that the formula of the entropy in the universe is always increasing. Then I cannot prove that. I only believe through the scientists that having their theorems before in the past that found to be reliable, valid, and true. That's only the identification, but I cannot really prove and confirm on actual how really random and disorder the universe really is. You get the point? So that makes chemical engineering very difficult. Okay? Something like that. Though others also are difficult, but I cannot explain. Okay, I cannot explain further. Okay, number 2, calculate, basta maglibog jud usahay. Okay, number 2, calculate the equilibrium constant for the following chemical reaction. Ganun, the same reaction ang gyapon ta. I don't have to write the other reaction because the same. Okay, guys. Delta G is equal to 0. Oh, bingo. We are very, very lucky. Oh, how can we do this? Okay, just have this formula again. 0. Oh my gosh. Delta G, standard free change in energy, 0. And then 0 is equals to negative RT ln K. Substitute na lang yung diretsyo, guys. So, negative 8.3146. Temperature nato, guys, is 464. I don't have to put the units already because it will agree already. Perfect. Because we're using the same R. Because it will take time for me also, okay? 464, okay, times K. So, imo na siyang i-ln chuba chuchu. Okay? So, ELN 0 is equals to ELN 8.3.46 and 464 the value of K. So, pila may ELN sa 0, guys? Okay, this is the substitution part. Okay, this one. It's very easy, right? You have to substitute only. What the difficult thing is the analysis. Okay, how to come up with the reliability of your answer. Okay, like that. Okay. Now, so ELN of 0, pila siya? O 0, okay, like this. 0, 1. Ganon. Really? My gosh. Okay. 1 siya. So, 1. Cancel siya. So, mahimo na siyang kung ano. Sige, go. Ay, charot. 8.314 8.3146 times 464 equals to, then shift ln equals to, oh my god, 0. Okay, really? Again, ha? 8.3146 times 464, ganun, and then ganun. Okay, 8.3146. Review so many times because this is the purpose of discussion only. Okay, like that. Okay, equal. Okay, but in the actual examination, you don't have to do this, because it will consume your time. Okay, 464 times 8.3146 is equals to chuba chuchu 358. Okay. Like this, 358. Okay. O, ganon. 358. Okay. 358. Ganon. Okay. So, 8.3146 times 464. Okay. 3856 divided by 1. Okay. ln 38756. Sorry guys, ako yung investigate. Charot! Okay, times 8.3146 is equals to 3858 siya. So 3858, balik na ako. 3858 and then okay, 358 shift. Ganon. 358. Syntax error lagi, guys. Paano to gagawin, this one? This calculator FX991E is plus. Syntax error. That's why I keep on repeating. Wait again, What is syntax error all about? I cannot understand also. 8.3146 times 464. Maybe the operation I used, right? Okay. Mathematics man good. Maglagot man ko. Charot! Nakakaloka. 3858. Negative ra ba? Ay, kakaloka. Negative value pa jud. Okay. Syntax error. So, ano siya pag-solve? Okay. Guys, e raised to the power ln siya, the negative 8.3146, 464k. ln, natural logarithm in the calculator, like this. Because I'm not mastering this scientific calculator, Manggod, because that was long time ago, 20 years ago, when I took up my, college education. So it's gonna be difficult for me to, to refresh how to operate the calculator also. Okay? Again. Oh my gosh, it takes time. Pasensya na. Okay. Again. Negative 8.3146 times 464. Ganon. The chief natural logarithm is equals to... Zero! Zero ang answer, guys. At least hindi siya syntax error. Ni produce siya value. So, by the way, class, in mathematics, zero is not considered a number, right? What is a zero? I forgot. Integer? I forgot the term for the zero. Because I am sure zero is very special. It is not called a number. Number starts from 1. Okay? 1 to 9. But zero is special. There's a term for that. I don't think so if it is an integer. integer in algebra. Okay? I don't know. Never mind. Okay? So, 0. Okay, Diyos ko. So, 1 divided by charot. Okay. 0. Bali siya ha. 0. Okay. So, 0 siya. So, K is equal to 1. Okay? Like that. K is equal to 1. K exponential pa mali mo siya ang 1, 0. So, K is equals to 1. Okay? Like that. Sure ka? K is equals to 1. Again. Review. Okay. Algebra. Okay. 1, 0, K. Hala, oy. Algebra na dyan ko. In fairness. Kanisya. 1 is equals to 0k. Nakakaloka. The spot man good. 1 is equals to 0k. How can I do this? Divide both sides by 0, right? To obtain the value of k. It's gonna be like that, right? So divided by 0, divided by 0. So cancel. So k is equals to 1 divided by 0. Class 1 divided by 0. 0 ba siya? Let's check. I think this is indefinite. Based on my stock knowledge, if we divide anything in the 0, I think it's indefinite, meaning not really that producing a result. Because 0 divided by 1 will be equal to 0, right? But if 1 will be divided by 0, I will prove in calculator, ha? So 1, very interesting, right? 1 divided by 0 is equals to, hala, indefinite good siya. 1 divided by 0. How can we do this? Okay. Math na ni siya. I'm wrong in the math situation, not on the analysis. Okay. This is how I substitute, how I operate the calculator, something like that only. But in the analysis, it's correct. But only in the, how to operate the, the mathematical operation. Again, I will review. So delta G is equals to 0 is equals to negative 8.3146 ln k. Okay? So, in here also, before ko mag-exponential, okay, I will try to convert the ln muna of this number para di ko maglibog. Okay? 3146. Match, 464 is equals to negative. Oh my gosh. Negative. So, negative 3858. Oh, ganon. So, muna na siya, ln na siya. 3858. Negative 3858 ln equals to, or ln negative 3858. Oh, error siya. So, dili lagi siya pwede. Mabita ng reason, you need to exponential in both sides because it is error. Math error siya. Class, have your sheet of paper. Okay? Now, okay? Okay? 0 is equals to, write down, negative 8.3146 universal gas constant times 464 times ln K. And we need to solve man good for the value of K. Ang mulubog niya, ang natural logarithm regulate siya. So there are two steps. We need to solve first in there without taking the exponential, and then the second one is to take the exponential so that it will be cancelled the e raised to the power ln. That's what I remembered in algebra. Okay? But it was a syntax error man siya. And then, okay. Go Jun! Kaya mo yan! Charot! Talaga? Okay, going back. So, ay my goodness. So, ang 0, okay. 0 exponential ln. Okay. 0 exponential ln 0 is equals to 1. Okay. Okay, ganon. So, kung 0 times k class, pila di answer na niya? 0 times k. Uy, pagkalisod gidaan eh. Ang number i-times sa k. Kung 1 siya, k magud siya. Kung 0 times k, 0 ba siya? Variable times the number. It can never be happening, right? Okay, like this. Wait. Okay. So, very interesting, right? 8.3146 negative. Negative ba siya? Yes. 8.346. So, assignment lang yun nato ako. Medyo na nato makuha ang number. Okay. Anyway, we have the formula already. Okay. And I want to beg your apology because I took up my engineering course when I was in, 20 years ago. Okay. Now, 2021. Okay, you know what I mean. Then I have to review pag yun talaga siya in algebra in order to solve this properly, right? Because this is mathematics already, okay? Not the science part. Okay, so K... No, bugo chukog math no, I told you. 3.146 times 464 negative and ln siya. Okay. Nakakaloka. Okay. Negative siya, di ba? Then go it. Negative. Okay. Negative 3858. Okay. Unang ko maalala ng calculator, eh. But sige lang. Go. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Charot. Okay. So 1 divided by 8.25. 1 divided by 8.25 is equals to... Okay, 0.12. K. 0.12 is still above 1 man good siya, diba? 0.12 is still above 0, right? K is above 0. Okay, 0.12. No, it's not. That's 0.12. It's less than 0, right? No, it's not. It's above 0. Okay? This negative is the only above, less than 0, the negative thing. But this is negative because the unit is negative man siya. Okay? Ganon. So, muna na siya itong K. Negative chuva chuchu. K is equals to negative 0.12. Negative 0.12 ang K. Okay? So guys, ipaningot siya kong bugbog. So K is equals to negative 0.12. Okay? Since in the theory, if the K is less than 0, then our delta G will be greater than 0, something like that, okay? Okay? So our reactants favored in this chemical reaction. Okay, like that. Okay, negative man siya. So the K is smaller. Okay, so K is smaller than 0 and delta G is less than 0. Okay? Ganon. Okay? Okay? So K is equals to 0. Ano, K is less than 0. That is negative 0.12 na siya. Ito oh. So we have now K is equals to negative 0.12. Wow, bongga. Or shall we say 0.12 lang siya, okay? In a way that's less than 0. I need to review talaga yung logarithm para hindi ako mahihirapan so that I will not find difficulty in the pressing the natural logarithm and the exponential function. Okay, because in this topic, guys, there's a ln man good siya, natural logarithm. So, supposedly, you will be good in mathematical ability, how to operate the natural logarithm like this, exponential, in the calculator like this. Okay, to be honest, I forgot also how to operate the basic functions of those things. Okay, though I know also a bit, but we don't know there's a technique and strategy in there that I missed. That's why I became wrong, something like that. Okay. How many times I did that? 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, like this, 20 times, a billion of times. Okay. So that is problem solving number 2. Okay. So in here, guys, if the K is less than 0, so the chemical reaction favors in the reactant sides. Okay. Ganun siya. Okay. Favors in the reactant side. So, ganon. So, mauni siya ang kay Ludwig Boltzmann. He is the one discovered this kind of, problems, how to solve the standard free change energy. Okay, thank you so much guys for watching this live streaming. I hope you gain a little bit, and sorry for the little bit confusion somewhere in the end for the mathematical ability operation. Sorry for the bigger apology for that, okay? Like that. And anyhow, if you are following, then you can also calculate by your own. We substitute already naman talaga siya eh. Okay, so it's in there. You can get the correct answer, okay? Like that. As I told you, maybe I forgot the exact operation for that. That was 20 years ago. Okay, when I graduated in our school, something like that. And now 2021, oh my gosh, you cannot expect 90% up retaining of those knowledge in algebra in my brain cells. Okay, but for science, I can guarantee a little bit, but in mathematics, I cannot. Okay, as I told you, in my scores, in my board examination result, general engineering that involves a lot of mathematics is the low scores for me. Okay, so my highest is chemical engineering, and then followed by physical and chemical principles. Meaning, I am really that okay in science part, but in the other part, it's not really that working very well. But when you add the three, result 1, result 2, result 3, so it makes okay, something like that. So I think if I am very good in mathematics, maybe my goal to become a top-notcher will be obtained. Okay, because I told you earlier, before I take the board examination in chemical engineering, my aim really is to become a top-notcher. Okay, not to be arrogant, to be frank with you. Okay, to be honest, I don't have to be, to be hypocrite. Okay, and then I studied a lot like that until midnight, something like I don't even go to the cities, I don't even watch movies, I don't even watch teleseries, everything I mean, always study, okay, in the inside the room. And I go to the library like because my aim is to become a top notcher. Maybe if I'm very, very good and high IQ of mathematics, as I told you in the general engineering part, because in the science part also have so many mathematics there also. Maybe there's a chance for me to become a top notcher. Okay, chance only. I'm not telling you I will become. There's a chance for me to become a top notcher if I am that good, very good in mathematical ability. Because in engineering, guys, a lot of problem solving really is, and a lot of mathematics. I'll tell you honestly and frankly. That's why others will say, take engineering if you are good in mathematics. They will never say, take engineering if you are good in science. But me is exactly the reverse. I'm not good in mathematics. I'm only, shall I say, a little bit good in science, but I take engineering. So I deviate that statement. Okay? Upon debating that statement, I proved to myself that it's not really a requirement to become an engineer, that you are supposedly good in mathematics. It's not. Because you can develop that somewhere along the way. Because mathematics are always incorporated in those science subjects. Okay, and then you love to solve problems now, even though you hate numbers. Honestly, I hate numbers. Really, I don't want. I really love memorization, like, but I don't really want to memorize the numbers or whatever. But I love sciences. Okay, pure science, anything, biology, chemistry, physics. Okay, earth science, nuclear chemistry, petroleum chemistry, clinical chemistry. I love that. Qualitative chemistry, everything, biochemistry, all about pure sciences. Okay, mineralogy, like that, mining, anything, geology, planetary science, all about yours. I love that so much until now. I keep on reading in my Friday and Saturday day offs. Okay. Okay. So I never go to the city. I am always in the room in my 2 days day off because I always read, I always refresh, like that, blah, blah, blah. Because also I have a YouTube channel that I have to build up my revenues day by day. Okay, something like that. And not only that, I really want to share information also. Okay, something like that. So, sorry guys ha, that's it. Okay, I'm not really that good in mathematical ability, but at least I tried. Okay, then I solved for the, shall I say correct answer? But review also to yourself, ha? Maybe I'm wrong. I will issue error statement also in my description of my YT title. Okay, thank you guys. See you later. If you are not subscribing yet my YT channel, then you can subscribe now if you want. You have the option. You can or you cannot. And then you can also leave a comment down below in the comment section. And of course, if you want also to share to anybody else, you can. And if you don't, fine. Okay. And also you can click the notification bells for some news updates. I am a senior return news. Again. You have a total freedom if you will subscribe or not. Okay? Because my purpose really is to share information on it, and I love what I am doing. I am happy in doing this. I don't want to gain more viewers just because I want you to do this, I want to chat you, oh watch my movies. I don't like that, okay? So it's your full freedom. If you watch, you can. If you don't, you can. Okay, this democratic country, democratic country. Okay, like that. Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye, everybody. God bless. Bye bye. See you later in my next live stream. I have to drink coffee na talaga siya. Okay, talaga. Ay, naku, nakakaloka.